If Prince Harry has realised this himself yet, but in fact he's just handed a spectacular own goal to his elder brother, His Royal Highness Prince William, the Prince of Wales, alongside his father, His Majesty the King, King Charles.
What if Prince Harry's latest move didn't just fail, but actually gave more power to the very people he was trying to pressure? Because behind the scenes, something just changed, and it could explain everything. For months now, Prince Harry has been trying to position himself as someone who still wants connection with the royal family. A reunion, a reset, a way back in. But what if that plan completely backfired? And what if the reason isn't what people think? Today, we're breaking down the hidden story behind Harry's latest move, and why it may have just closed the door even further. Let's go back for a moment. Prince Harry has often portrayed himself as someone who's been misunderstood, someone who struggled, someone who wants healing. And while many people sympathized at first, over time, a pattern began to emerge. In every interview, every statement, every appearance, it always seemed to circle back to the same idea. He was the victim. Now, whether that's true or not isn't the point here. The real issue is what happened next. The plan that backfired. Not too long ago, Harry made it clear that he wanted his family involved in something very important to him. The Invictus Games. On the surface, it sounded reasonable. After all, it's a major event, a meaningful cause, and something he's been associated with for years. So, naturally, he suggested that his father, King Charles, and his brother, Prince William, should come and support him. Sounds simple, right? But here's where things get complicated. Because this wasn't just an invitation, it felt more like pressure. Almost as if he was trying to publicly put them in a position where they had to respond. And that's a risky move, especially when relationships are already strained. Why it didn't work. Think about it. If you haven't spoken to someone properly for months, if there's tension, if there are unresolved issues, you can't suddenly expect everything to reset just because you made a public request, and that's exactly what seems to have happened here. Instead of bringing the family closer, it pushed them further away. Timing was everything, but that's not the only problem. The timing couldn't have been worse. At the same time, this invitation was being discussed. There were already multiple controversies surrounding the royal family. Different headlines, different issues, and a lot of unwanted attention. So from a public image perspective, this was not the moment for a high-profile reunion, and the palace knew it. The real reason everything changed. Now here's where things take a serious turn, because something happened that completely changed the situation. And her name is Dr. Sophie Chandauka. She's not just a random figure in this story, she's directly connected to the Invictus organization. And now, she's taken legal action, not against the charity, but against Prince Harry personally. That detail is crucial, because it shifts everything. This is no longer just about family drama or public perception. This is now a legal matter. Why this is a huge problem when someone connected to a major charity becomes involved in a legal dispute. It creates uncertainty. Questions start being asked. Focus starts shifting. And suddenly, the original purpose of the event gets overshadowed. Instead of talking about the Invictus Games, people are talking about Harry, about Meghan, about controversy, and that's not what the event was meant to be about. The ripple effect. Inside the organization itself, there's reportedly growing concern, because this isn't just about one person anymore. It's about reputation, it's about trust, it's about stability. And when legal issues enter the picture, everything becomes more complicated. Why this helps the royal family. Now here's the twist. While this situation creates problems for Harry, it actually works in favor of King Charles and Prince William, because now they have a clear reason to stay away. It's no longer about personal differences, it's about association. And most importantly, it's about avoiding unnecessary risk. If they were to appear publicly at an event linked to an ongoing legal dispute, it could raise questions, it could create headlines, it could complicate things even further. So instead of being pressured, they've effectively been given an exit, a legitimate reason to keep their distance. The bigger strategy, and this is where things get really interesting, because some insiders believe this situation has been quietly discussed behind palace walls, not as a crisis, but as an opportunity. an opportunity to step back, to avoid involvement, to let the situation play out, without direct association. Meanwhile, Harry's original plan, to use the event as a way to reconnect, now looks less likely than ever. The image problem. Whilst there's also another layer to this. Over time, the focus around Harry and Meghan has shifted. Instead of being seen purely as public figures with a cause, they're increasingly seen as controversial personalities, and that changes everything. Because when attention moves away from the mission and toward the individuals, the entire narrative gets affected. The Invictus Games were meant to highlight courage, resilience, and recovery. But now, the conversation is different. The final turn. And this is where everything comes full circle. Harry believed he could create a moment, a powerful reunion, a reset for his public image. But instead, the situation has evolved into something completely different, something more complicated, more unpredictable, and far more difficult to control. So what does this all mean? When it means that sometimes, the moves we think will bring people closer can actually push them further away. It means that timing, strategy, and perception matter more than ever. And most importantly, it shows that behind every public story, there's always something deeper happening, something most people never see. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Harry genuinely wanted a reunion, or was this all part of a bigger strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more stories like this, real, unfiltered, and straight to the point, subscribe to Fame Expose, because here, we don't just watch the headlines, we uncover what's really behind them.